Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. As someone who spent 22 years of her life living in Vietnam and almost 8 years in America, I think this video I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the difference between Vietnamese culture and American culture. So let's get started. So Vietnamese and American are so different in the way they grocery shoppings. So why in America, shopping for groceries like a trivia game for adult. So they have a list of all the shopping items that they need, and then they just go to the store and try to get that item as fast as they can. However, in Vietnam, shopping in grocery store is like a fashion shows. So you'll see a lot of people going in there dressed up so nicely, and they even post next to eggs and chickens and all that stuff. And then the next day they will have their picture posted on Facebook saying how nice it was in the grocery store. Vietnamese and American also different in manners. American are very polite. They're gonna say a lot of thank you and goodbye. If you following them into the store, they wanna hold the door for you to let you in. They're so nice that sometimes when you are very far away, like 1 mile away, they keep the door for you until you have to really run and rush into that store. Vietnamese also nice, but in a different extent. So for example, when I've just met one of my friends after a long time we haven't seen each other, the first thing she said to me that, "Hey Nina, you are so fat." If you don't know Vietnamese culture, you probably get offended by this. But in Vietnam, being fat is equivalent to being healthy and have a good quality of life. The third difference between Vietnamese culture and American culture is what can you use as the conversation starters, as a joke. What can you make jokes about and what you can never. In America, you can make jokes about literally everything, including the president, but you can never make jokes about race. Maybe that's why American politics are really interesting, not only to Vietnamese, but also the whole world, because people really can make fun of it, make memes out of it. However, if you go into race topic, you gotta be careful. If you say, "I hate people," then yeah, people agree with you. But if you said that, "I hate Asians," then you're gonna get in trouble. How about in Vietnam? Can we make jokes about race? Well, we only have one race, so technically, yes, you can make a joke about other races and nobody care because we only have one and we only care about our race. But there's a lot of things that you can't make jokes about in Vietnam, including the president and your future parents-in-law. Why? Because they have the power to tell your future spouse not to marry you. How about in dating and marriage? In America, you can freely date or marry anyone as long as they are not a kid and they're alive. But in Vietnam, you really have to care about how old is your spouse is, because in Vietnam, there's a couple that I think the wife is 62 years old and the husband is 26 years old, and everybody will talk about that. It's gonna be in the news, on the internet and on Facebook. So yes, if you married Vietnamese, you really have to really watch out for how old your wife or your husband. Okay, so how about beauty standards? In America, girls in general, their look and their age tend to be upward sloping. However, in Vietnam, it is a constant because everybody will look like they're 20 years old. So there's a funny story like this. My friend keep asking me all the time, "Why, Nina, why you look so old?" Well, I'm gonna have to tell them that I am look just like the people in my age supposed to look like. And I am not a witch, so I cannot keep my look to look like I'm 20 all the time. All right, lastly, we're gonna talk about traffic. Yes, traffic, this is the hottest topic of all American or any foreigner who come to visit Vietnam. I would say traffic in Vietnam is the place that got the lowest min from the government because we don't need lights, we don't need crosswalk because everything it just work out itself magically. If you are pedestrian and you want to cross the street, so all you have to do is just imagine you are the big whale and all the motorcyclists and all the cars that coming is like a school of fish. So as you walk your way through the other side of the street, just ignore them and they're gonna somehow get around you and let you pass through. So it's amazing, isn't it? But the key thing to remember when you're crossing the street in Vietnam is that don't hesitate, because when you hesitate, people don't know what you want to do and they may run over you. In America, I think the roads are pretty well maintained. So as the driver in the street, I have to watch for sign, traffic signal, and I really have to watch for pedestrian and especially though greedy bicyclists. Why? Because they're not sharing their lane to anyone. With the whole giant 2 meters of roads, none of us have the right to share with them. So yesterday it was a nice day, so I tried to go to the park and enjoy the nature a little bit, but then, oops, one bicyclist really slowly driving on the street and none of us can get in front. So I was looking behind me and there's like 1,000 of cars behind me and we all patiently wait until he turns so that we can go ahead. I was just like, come on, just go ahead, be fast. I really want to honk, but then I'm thinking that, well, I am American, so I have to be polite. Alrighty, so I have just talked about the difference between Vietnamese and American culture. Some of them are true, but some of them as a little bit exaggerated, so take it by your grain of salt. Finally, if you really enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you don't like this video, give me a thumbs up also, because if you already go into this point, why not? But please comment below so I know what to do next time. Alright,